Ayuban and welcome to another episode of Barish Sangwad. Do you know today is an important day across the world? And if you ask me why, it is the International Youth Day. So, youth is a promise, is about tomorrow, is about the next generation. So, youth signifies or symbolizes hope. So, without much ado, let me introduce you to the youth who are here with us today. We have two young rainwater champions from two countries in South Asia. That is Muhammad Fahad Rabid from Bangladesh and Akash Varia from India. So I will give the mic, starting off with Akash. I will pass on to Akash. So Akash, how would you introduce yourself to others who are with us in this program?
Yes, my name is Akash, and I am active participant of the. And we have developed the one product for the future generation, which we easily make the rainwater harvesting very easy, and it's a part of the sustainable development.
So you are directly involved in promoting rainwater harvesting by introducing, because the products
Yes.
that you are trying to promote to the others
Yes.
are directly related to rainwater harvesting.
Yes.
So
Yes. Exactly.
that's one, like, so that itself is evidence for the theme that we are going to talk uh, with the two champions, young rainwater champions today, is about green skills for sustainable development. That is the theme of the International Day. So, our other next speaker is Muhammad Fahad Rabin. So, tell us about yourselves, Fahad.
Thank you so much, Dhanushi, for the opportunity. Hello, everyone. My name is Mohammed Fahad Ravid, and I'm resigning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. So I'm actually a researcher, a young researcher. What I do is that I do research on climate finance, climate change, and environmental economics. But apart from that, I have an organization named ICANN, Individual Climate Action Network, where I teach people about climate action, especially how they can take climate action on in their daily life. And within that program, we teach school kids, school children, and youths of our country about rainwater harvesting. How can they harvest rainwater, and as a youth of this nation, how can they sort of take action in climate change through rainwater harvesting? So that's what I do. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Akash. So getting back getting back to today's topic. So this question is to both of you. So do you think there should be special greener skills, greener values, greener attitudes? If so, what are they? And like, how would you explain it to youth? So we will start with Akash.
Uh, yes, green skill is more important for many reason. Many reason. One is like the today's youth is the tomorrow's responsible citizen of the any country. So if he or she doesn't have the green skills, then the sustainable future is not, we cannot see if we don't see the green skills or a green attitude in the today's youth. The second thing is like if we talk about like in future of our generation, so our generation is either the like any kind of resources, as we taught from the sixth standard science subject, that there are the two resources, the two part of the natural resources are there. One is the renewable and one is the non-renewable. So we talk about more we talk about the non-renewable and we less talk about the renewable energies like a soil, water, or anything that can be renewable. So nowadays, that the youth of the today or the generation of the today or the people of the today has to have the develop the green skills, has to have to upgrade themselves as a green skills, what are the required, and have to think about the innovations that are leading towards the green skills, or they must have to have the green attitude for the sustainable future of any country. That's what I feel.
Yeah, how would you explain a little bit more about green attitude?
Green attitude is something like that. Think more about the more renewable resources. Like the renewable resources are water, soil, and all these things are, which are renewable.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
conserve
so
and start conserving that renewable resource.
green attitude is
Yes.
about renewable, like attitudes towards renewable resources. So Fahad, how do you think? How do you see green skills? What are green skills, and what are green attitudes, or what are green values?
Okay, okay. First of all, to begin with, what are the green skills that we can find in this new generation or new time of the world? Well, first of all, I can speak for myself from my experience, what I have learned. So nowadays there's a huge opportunity for environmental researchers who can actually it could be publications, it could be research about policies, it could be research about the renewable innovation. So if you become a researcher, I think this is the best opportunity you can get as a skill green skill in the green skill sector. I mean, there is new funding opportunities. Universities are very open to that. International in national and international level, you'll get enormous amount of jobs for researchers. That is one area I would like to indicate. And also, what Akash has said, innovation is really important. We can work towards innovating green technologies. So that could be a good skills. That could be part of good skill. And along with that, I believe that resource management, like we have, in economics, I'm from economic background in my studies, so I sort of tend to relate what I've just learned. So in economics, we believe that all the resources are limited, right? But what we do is that in time, when we start to consume all the resources, we start to pollute the world without having to process it in a green way or in a sustainable way, right? So if you know how to manage those resources in a sustainable way, in a proper way, which has less carbon footprint, so if you have those skills, that's gonna give you an edge if you're thinking about green skills. And if you, Santoshi, could you please redirect me to your second question? What was your second question, Dhanushi?
Yeah. So as you said, the attitude towards that resources are not infinite, like they are finite.
Yes.
All resources that we have, like water, earth, soil, air, like
Yeah.
it's not infinite, it's finite. That is something that is like a attitude, like a value that needs to go into our heads. And as Akash also pointed out, like uh, renewable using renewable resources is one way.
Yeah.
So
So in the attitude part, I think I can add a bit more with Akash that if you're thinking about the green attitude, you have to actually take account of your actions. Like, you have to have, I would say, put on your green lens whenever you're doing something, like reduce the plastic of use. You have to have some ethics of your own. Like, I'm gonna do these certain things. I'm not gonna do certain things. Like, I'm gonna avoid single use plastics. So all these ethics actually, comes into account if you think about the attitude, because the all attitude is like attributes of many things. So all those attributes you have to think from your green lenses. Like, whenever you're traveling, try to travel by a bus rather than using a private car or a private vehicle, because your private vehicle actually has more carbon footprint than traveling on a bus. So you have to have the mindset, you have to have the behavioral changes, so that you can actually, you have to become a nature friendly person. You have to become a climate friendly person, that you're not actually harming the environment, you're not actually, doing anything that's going to hamper the environment. So I think that we can account as a green attitude also as well.
Yes, as I think that's very important. Like one, so some of the things that you suggested, Fahad and Akash both, I think it takes us to the next level of in our discussion. We need to have a green lens, and we need to look at things. We need to like reflect before we do anything, whether the type of resources we use, are they single use plastic, or or whether we can recycle, whether we do really need to, like whether we it's a choice, like again it's a conscious choice. So to make conscious choices, do we have that kind of enabling environment? What makes do we have like, can we make those choices in practically? Is it affordable? Is it available easily? Do we have systems in place like that? What is the kind of recognition for such choices? In, like, personally, for me, I always use a carry bag. I avoid as much as possible using polythene. And I try and, like, reuse like old, like, clothes, because the amount of water needed for producing garments, like, that comes into my mind. But where do we get that? What is the, like, is the environment conducive for us to make those choices? What do you think, Akash?
Such a nice question, Dhanushri, and such a burning question for the today's youth. Because, like, see, I will share one quote that a child born in 1960 has a less problem of the drought than the child born in 2030, right? So I will suggest the supporting environment, or the supporting climate, or you can say the supporting system in a three stages. If we want to develop the state, the supporting environment for the youth, to create the green skills, to start the new thinking in the green skills, or to innovate something into the green skills, I would like to develop, or I would like to educate the system to be developed in the three stage. First is the education to the innovation, and the second is the innovation to the on ground action. So first is like the today's youth has to educate about the green skills, and then from that educations they should transform to the innovation, or the innovate something on the basis of the educations that they have the green skills. And then after the innovations they had, they have to be on ground actions to be taken by the government as well, by the country officials as well, and as well as the citizen of the country as well. So I would like to, if the supporting, every country should think about that which stages are they are in. Like, see, if I talk about the India is in the second stage. Is the India's today's youth is are more educated. They are educated. They are into the innovation phase. So they learn the green skills. They are on the innovation side of the green skills. So each country has to identify the stages of from the education, innovation, and on-ground actions, and then develop the whole system into the three stages. That's what I think, to give the support system to the today's youth about the green skills, or you can say that today's emerging youth for the responsible citizen of the tomorrow.
Yeah, very rightly pointed out. Like, so educating, innovation are key factors that needs to be taken into consideration if green skills are to be applied by youth, emerging youth. So there has to be enough education, there has to be enough awareness, and also like even there has to be examples in the society for them to follow. That is also something that has to be there, I think. So in addition to this, I'm sure Fahad has some other like news, other suggestions
Yes.
from Bangladesh experiences.
Yes, yes. No, what Akash just said, I couldn't agree more with him, because these are actually things that we must do. But to answer your question, Dhanush, what you first asked us earlier, it's yes and no, both from my side. There is an environment for us to take action in climate change, for us to reduce our carbon footprint, but there is not as well. Why? How there is? I say it depends mostly on yourself. It depends on me, it depends on you. If we decide, just you and me, just three of us decide, okay, we're not going to use any single-use plastic for the next 1 month. We'd be reducing at least 20 to 30 kilograms of single-use plastic. That's three of us. So I say that every individual matters. Every individual's wills matters, and you're actually it's you have to have the will to sacrifice. You cannot I if I'm saying that I'm gonna avoid use single plastic, I have to make an immense sacrifice. Like I cannot just like you said, you carry a bag, right? And that is actually a hassle. Just take for action. You have to carry some. You have to pay a bit extra, but at least there is a way. That's why I'm saying yes, there is a way, but there is also not. I know there is constraining fact that are hindering this process every day. But if we have the will to do the right thing, if we have the will to no harm policy for environment, I think that there is an opportunity for all of us, every single one of us, every civilians, every citizen of this world. That's what I believe in. So, but yes, I know. But one thing I would like to point out that every single companies are now more trying to act more responsibly nowadays. Like Coca-Cola, they're trying to recycle their Coke bottles, which is one of the biggest producer of single-use plastic in the world, right? So there is change coming. There is hope. We believe that within 5 or 10 years, there will be paper bags available in every super shop in the world. We believe that we are actually going towards a sustainable world, which will enable us a better future. I am optimistic a little bit, not a little bit. I'm very optimistic in this thing. So yeah, that's my thing.
So there is hope. There is the youth symbolizes optimism. So from the gloomy, pessimistic, I would say the the older generation needs to take responsibility for their action and passing a problem for the youth to deal with, and expecting and we are also expecting youth to address the problem, but they are already aware, like they have gone a step ahead, I would say, because they have realized that there are opportunities, and there is a way forward. but it is, of course, an individual choice. So for this individual choice for you to exercise your individual choice, there has to be there has to be enabling spaces at policy level also. So a final question to both of you. Now, since this from as responsible youth who are shouldering, who have come forward to take both of you are already actively engaged in with greener skills and addressing climate change for a sustainable tomorrow, for sustainable development. So what is the kind of message that you have for the others who had been part of the problem, and for the other youth? It's open to both Akash and Fahad. So anybody is free to go first, but both of you, I want both of your opinions on this. Akash?
Brother, go ahead.
Yeah, Farad, first you take the.
Okay, all right, thank you. So, first of all, I think where the youth need to be more present and need to raise their voices at the policy level. And for that, I think I'd like to request our the elder generation to give us the chance to speak, give us the opportunity to raise our voices, give us the opportunity to participate, because there are thousands of policies are formulated for the youth, but there is no youth presence at those policy level whatsoever, right? They're not part of the policy formulation, they're not part of the policy evaluation, they're not part of anything, but you're actually making policies for the youth. So how that works, I don't know how that really works. So please, I think if you allow youth to participate in your policies will become more inclusive, and also your policies will become have a youth vibe to it, and have the voices of youths, so that actually it will become more feasible to your goals. That is one thing I'd really ask the next generation. And also I think it's vice versa. The elder generation must do something for the youth, and also youth has to do something for themselves. We have talked about green skills so far, but how many youths are now aspiring to be to green skills? How many youths are encourages to being an entrepreneur? Very less. Everybody's going after for a job, but I suggest become an innovator, become a researcher, become a youth advocate. If you don't become youth advocate, the voices of youth will not be spread to the world. If you don't become an innovator, the youth innovation will stop. If you don't become a young researcher, the researcher will not have the youth contribution in the research sector. So be you, aspire to become someone. So that is what I would really say to both the generations, Gen Z and Gen X. And I do believe that we have a lot to look forward to. I mean, both the generation, I think we have to come together. We have to discuss our problems. We have to overcome our problems together as one, not just youth, not just Gen Z, not just Gen X. We have to become one nation, one globe, one world. Thank you.
Yes, one voice. So the whole to address the problem, we all should have. There has to be one voice. The youth and the older generation should come together. Also, for the youth, the message is research, innovation, entrepreneurship, green entrepreneurship. Thank you, Fahad. So, Akash, what is the message that you have?
Yes, I will answer your question in a one sentence. That the principle should not be changed, but the policy should be changed. Now, like I will elaborate this my explanations that the elder generations has some principles, some experience, some some knowledge that has to be implemented by the youth, today's youth, by the implementing the new technology, implementing the new policies, and the implementing the new innovations and the implementing the new thinking. Like for example, if we talk about the farming itself, so farming before the olden days it was done by the tractor, but nowadays electric tractor has also been introduced. So the principle of the cropping is not changed, but the method of the cropping is changed. So like I would like to say the give the message to the elder generation or the youth of the today, that you should stick to the principles whichever we have from the our elders, elder generations, or for what we have from the our olden days, or from the our ancient histories. Like see, if we talk about the especially rainwater harvesting, like we all know about the rainwater harvesting, that means to conserve the rainwater. But to conserve the rainwater, what is the innovations, what is the like a new product to be coming on, and what are the new things to be done into the rainwater harvesting very easy, so that any common man of the country can save the rainwater. So this is the message to the youth, that you can implement your innovations and the thinking, but stick to the older principle which is given by the our elder generations. And the elder generations, the message is also like that, who ever the new ideas and the thinkings that has been put to put to the that new principles has to be acceptance level. Sometimes what happened, like see the new the generations has put so much of new ideas, but they didn't get the chance, or they didn't get the acceptance level, so that they are away from the these kind of skills of the development. So the message from the to the elder generation is to accept the new innovations and the ideas which is from the today's youth, and the message to the youth is to like to have the ideas, but do not change the principles which is given by the elder generations or the ancient history.
Yes, a lot of things, lot of insight again from Akash. Thank you. Uh, two things for the elder generations to consider the youth more seriously, in other words, and also for the youth also to revisit the traditional wisdom and seek the good practices from our traditional wisdom. So traditional indigenous wisdom, there are like good practices that we can apply uh, for now to having greener economies, greener countries, greener societies, for a greener world. Um, so thank you very much for all those insights and for the hope that the promise and the hope that was given by both of you. It's very, very inspiring, I must say, for the times to come. So we do have hope, and as a concluding remark, I must say, International Youth Day, we have already started with having greener skills. The youth has already embarked on the journey. So listen to their voices, give them the consider them, give them opportunities, and for also the youth to take leadership. Do not wait. You can, and you can take the lead and inspire the older generations also. Thank you very much, Fahad and Akash, the two young rainwater champions again. Uh, so we'll see you all with another program soon of Barish Sangwad. Thank you and have a pleasant evening.
Thank you so much, Dhanushi.
Thank you.